The countdown to Nigeria's election is now by the hours. If you just joined us, we welcome you watching Newsnight. Now, the Nigerian Communications Commission says there will be no internet or network shutdown for the elections. The Commission says all network operations would run as usual. NCC urged Nigerians to disregard the reports of a planned network shutdown for the elections. It said reports that there will be a planned shutdown of all telecoms networks and relevant ICT units, including online transfer facilities of the banks, with effect from February 23, are false.
All right, joining us now is the Director of Public Affairs of the Nigerian Telecommunications Commission, Reuben Mouka. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on Newsnight.
Thank you.
Well, very comforting, reassurance is there from NCC. But when you say networks will run as usual, I wonder what exactly usual is, because in recent times, networks have really been bad. I mean, I spent over an hour today trying to buy something at the supermarket and paying. It was a real challenge. What exactly was responsible for that?
Well, that has to do with normal network challenges, the capacities of the network. But by and large, I think the telephone network, the ones you use to make calls, send text messages, browse the internet, I think they are working very fine. Where there are issues, maybe the banking transactions has to do with their communications facilities, linkages and all that. So some of the banks, for instance, has encountered, has that problem, others do not have. So it's not something really to be credited to the telecommunications network. It must be within their internal communication systems.
Well, again, still on that, on the back of that, specifically MTN, the subscribers of the network have been frightened with news of what they call MTN freeze. I don't know if the Commission has
heard
elections. That. Yes.
Yes, during the elections, there is a notice from MTN. That notice is not really for the public. It's meant for their internal community of those who interconnect with them for various services. Maybe if you're a licensee and you got a license and this period you want to interconnect with them, they are saying there's a period within which they don't want to interconnect other businesses in their network. Actually, it is a time they have optimized their network. They don't want any interruption within that time. So the freeze is for those who are interconnecting businesses like international data licensees that want to interconnect with them. The large businesses or corporates that want to interconnect with them to deliver services, they don't want any interruption. So they actually prepared, the freeze actually means we have optimized our network for this particular election so that nothing will disrupt it. So they are at the high point of readiness to ensure that there is seamless communications during the election time. Okay,
that's great to know. Yes. It would be nice to know what other levels of support that the NCC is providing, especially now, for this election particularly. I do understand you have a dedicated toll-free line.
Yes.
Tell us about that and other support that you're bringing to bear.
Okay, we have a number, a toll-free number called 622. That number is designed for our consumers to call into the network to report issues they have with the operators if their system is not working or their issues. Every issue that the operators are unable to resolve, they have to escalate it to NCC 622. And that particular toll-free line works only during the weekday. But this one now, the board of NCC decided that the 622 will be dedicated to the general elections. So on Saturday, it will work from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening. And the idea is that everybody across Nigeria, wherever you are, you can call 622 and it is free, toll-free. So we want any issue related to maybe network coverage. If they call 622, in fact, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Omar Dambata, is head of the team, including the executive directors, that will monitor those incidents coming on about the election. So wherever you are, whether it is something that has to do with communications, whether it has to do with security, whether it has to do with your inability to vote, either because of anything related to communication in your area, once you call this number, we will pick it up and we will resolve it by escalating it to whichever agency is involved, whether it's INEC, whether it is security, whether it is the network operators especially. That is what we want to, we want to assist INEC, as it were, to ensure that Nigerians go freely to cast their votes tomorrow.
Quickly here, off the top of my head, if that's so possible, one wonders why till this moment, because if you can do that for the day, then why is it that we don't have a toll-free line to help in security? Specifically, even someone may just want to squeal and say, Mr. Mouka, something is wrong with your facility. Someone is destroying your facility, but he or she may not have the credits on the phone to get to you.
Well, apart from the 622, which is particularly about consumers, which we want to dedicate to this election, NCC has emergency communication centers right now in 28 states of the Federation. And you have a toll-free number 112, which is dedicated to emergencies, whether it's fire, whether it is accident, whether it is security, whether it's criminal activities. You can call toll-free 112. It is at least functioning operational in 28 states of the country as at now. So in terms of emergencies, where citizens can call in to 112 for any act of security or emergency, and we will be able to respond.
Only
so that is about
states.
Emergency communications. But this one is actually a consumer code, the 622, which we are just dedicating for the purpose of elections tomorrow.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Reuben Mouka is Director of Public Affairs, Nigeria Communications Commission. Thank you very much for the support you're providing.
Thank you.